All right, welcome back to our final segment of Thrive America with Charles Fellingham, Frank Sinatra impersonator and founder of Q Alias. And you know what would be great, Charles, is if they Google you and on your Q Alias page you had a song that you just on a video of your singing.
I'll do it. It only takes me about 15 minutes to throw that up there. So,
yeah.
That would be great. Yeah, I'll take the challenge and do that.
Before we get into some of these questions, let's talk about those of us that may find ourselves in a situation where we're looking to start our own business.
Yep.
And either we've been laid off or there's opportunity to do so. What would be your first thing if I was to start a new business online? What would you tell me? What advice would you give me?
A couple of things, really important. First of all, if you have an idea and it's a smash hit and you know it, I mean, it's an idea that's keeping you up at night. It's like, have you ever heard of universal synchronicity? What that means is that when you thought of this idea, it's likely that 10,000 other people thought of it at the same moment. But very few, if just maybe one, is actually going to act on it and do something about it. So the whole idea is to get passionate about it and then gather the resources that you need around you to consult with and give you the direction to be able to launch this business.
That's great advice, and we've had other guests kind of talk about the same thing, where you got to be passionate, and then you got to be dangerously intelligent in how you execute that idea. Build a team of diverse people, mentors, people that know more about business than you do, that you can consult with, test and measure your idea, and then online create this kind of like this Taj Mahal or fortress so people can find you.
That's exactly what I did. When I got home from that training event where they Googled me, I immediately called two very savvy internet developers that I know, Ashley Fleischel and Joey Rivera, and I asked them to help me find what Q Alias does. And they came back and said, we can't find it, but people we were talking to said if you created something like that, it would be a smash hit. So I said, let's create it. And we flow charted out exactly what it would take in terms of money, time, resources, people, knowledge, all of those things. And we pulled all of that together and created a critical path and designed the development of this online service.
Well, great. I hope I can play a small part in helping your business grow and seeing it evolve from being on the show in some small way, hopefully. Let's talk about your biggest blunder, Charles. What's been your biggest blunder in your business life, and then what have you learned from that mistake?
Yeah, I'm having so much fun with a startup business, and probably more fun than I've ever had in my entire life. And I've had a very good life. But I was in corporate America for 27 years. And if I had started this much earlier, really followed my passion and found an idea and followed through, because I've had a lot of ideas through my life that I've never followed through with, I think I probably would have gotten out of the corporate rut a lot faster. But that doesn't take away from the fact that I'm really enjoying the process now, the startup business.
So you're saying that if you could go back and do it all again, you would have been an entrepreneur.
Yes, I would have been an entrepreneur much sooner.
A little bit sooner.
Oh, yeah.
Gotcha. And then you've already kind of talked about some ways we can thrive, but does anything come to you right now and really call up the nugget of advice that you can help us and to help us thrive in this economy?
I was hoping you'd ask that, because right now in this economic time, it's the time to get fearless about creating the best possible personal brand you can online. First of all, know what's said about you online. Go to the internet and search for yourself. Go deep into 7, 8, 9 pages or deeper. Find out what's being said. Find out where you are in terms of what social media you're involved in, and create that best presence possible. When I say be fearless, I mean have other people look at it, critique it, be open and welcome to criticism. Call some experts you don't even know to look at your presence and guide you and help. I'll be glad to do that. Go to our number and call me. I'll be glad to look at your presence and give you some advice in terms of how best you can make that the best it could possibly be.
Yeah, that's so important. I think where I see a facet of marketing being personal, that personal touch and that personal brand and who we are as people. just as important as who our businesses are as a company and what we represent, but who are the people now that are running those companies and kind of behind the magic carpet or the magic curtain.
Yeah.
Who's behind that curtain, and how can we maximize? And like there's a lot of services like QAlias and Facebook and things that really can help us there. So before you go, Charles, a little bit more about QAlias. How do we get in touch, or how do we get an account with QAlias, or how do we get in touch with you? How does that work?
Well, first what I would do is either go to www.qalias.com, QALIAS, or Google Brad Brooks, or Google me, just so you can see what it looks like and how you're positioned very well on the top of the search engines. And just click on the link at the top that says sign up here, and that's about a 10-minute process. You'll be on top of Google within a few hours. And it only takes, how long did it take us to create a bio? 20 minutes.
Yeah.
You could have a bio, and we've even posted video on the QAlias bio page as well as the bulletins. So a lot of robust tools that you can immediately use to create that positive impression.
And I do want to mention that this is a service that it's you pay it's a minimal cost that you get for this. I just want to throw that out there so that qualifies our viewers into this, but it's very minimal, and it's so worth it, because just like you said, I'm starting to see how I'm the first on Google. Things that I'm involved with are graduating up to the first page of Google, and if you can spend a little bit of time with your bio, we spend just a little bit of time creating the bio and a video we have on the first page that we're a video production company as well that we put on there. So Charles, and hire Charles about your Frank Sinatra. Anything you want to tell us about your Frank Sinatra before we let you off the hook here?
You can go to FrankSinatraImpersonator.com, and you can hear me on there. So I invite you to do that.
Great, and we're talking about, Charles is talking about having our troupe out for a upcoming service that we have called Improvistorm, where we're going to maybe put some creativity around some branding ideas for QAlias. But Charles, what a great segment. Thank you so much for being a guest on Thrive America. And I hope that what we do here helps your company out and brings a little bit more awareness to what it is that you do.
Appreciate it. Great time.
All right, thanks. What I learned most here from my time with Charles are a few things. The first thing being is how important your personal brand, your personal presence online needs to be. If someone's going to do business with you, odds are they're going to Google your name. And your personal brand is very important. And there's some tools out there that can help you control what is revealed when they Google your name. QAlias is obviously a very powerful and affordable tool that you can use to take advantage of when someone Googles your name. The second thing I learned from Charles is just how to have passion. You can see when he's talking about his company how passionate he is, and that's so important. When days are long and times are down, you're gonna fall back on what just your passion is. And the last thing I learned from Charles is that you got to be innovative. In other words, even after our segment here with Charles, he and I were sharing some business ideas and some partnerships. And we both kind of started to synergize on the outcome of what those could be. So you always got to, I think now's the time where you got to find people that are willing to work and build ideas and concepts where you're bringing together two worlds. And how can you do that in your business? How can you be innovative? How can you pull together different people and possibly create a new product or a new service for yourself and your company? Thanks so much for tuning in, and what a great guest Charles was. We really thank him for coming out here today, and look forward to seeing you again here on Thrive America.